Okay, I'm going to tour through the flashcard setup that I've been doing with Juno. This is using a program called Anki, which is based on this idea of spaced repetition. So let's look at a couple of these flashcards. We've got, here's a new one I made. The flashcard program is pretty simple. You see a word, with Juno, I'll sit down, we'll read it. If she doesn't know the rule, like these are going over soft C. So if C is followed by an I, E, or a Y, sounds like S. So this is cinnamon roll, and she would say cinnamon roll, and then, whoa, look, I hit go, and it goes to the next card. So that part's pretty familiar. Papa stabbed his leg with a pencil. Yeah, part of this is my unconventional flashcard themes, which I'll get into. So a day of flashcard work is some set of flashcards that's served up by the program. And the way these work is the first time you see them, they show you say, okay, I've got it or not. So I can go here and say study now. Shanks, I show the answer. I see Shanks. I get to decide, do I see it again? Like, did Juno miss it? Was it hard? Was it good? Or was it totally easy? And it doesn't really matter, the distinction between all these. But the brilliance of this program is that at first you're seeing things twice in the same day, then the next day, and then they start to decay out. So as you get them right, they decay out into the future, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks. And you'll see this one's now, we're not going to see it again for a month and a half. Hard things come back to the front of the line. So she had trouble with V and with the differences between B, P. I mean, all these letters are just flipped and rotated. So when we did the alphabet cards, those all would come back to the front. So Anki's like super amazing. There are a few a few people on the Reddit thread who have talked about using Anki with, this one guy used it with his daughter, and she's reading at like a 7th grade level in 1st or 2nd grade, which seemed a little miraculous. But I think that's going to happen. Like, it's just amazing how by letting the flashcard program manage all this for you and then making these things fun and exciting, the stuff that's hard really gets drilled, and then the easy stuff just stays fun. And you only see these cards when you've got, for, let's say a 90% chance of getting them. Like when they're tough, but not so tough that it's discouraging. Okay, so that's how Anki works. What I did at first is I made decks for math stuff. I downloaded like a pre-existing one for alphabet. That ended up being sort of lame, but it's fine because these cards go away pretty fast. And then I went and started creating words and sentences. And when I started this, I took a phonics book and looked at the order of introduction of things. And my thought was first letters. Then I'm going to start doing words that use letters that she knows now that she can read. We did lowercase and uppercase letters, and then simple words. And as the words came online, I switched over to sentences using those words. And every few days or whenever she felt comfortable, I would throw in a new phonics word. And that was surprisingly annoying. Like I made this list of all these different digraphs. Like there's the ch sound, the CK, NG, PH, and then all the different, there's all these nonsense names for these things like vowel teams, diphthongs, and there's just so many irregulars in English. But I think that on-ramp of new ideas has worked really well. Another thing that has worked very, very well is just having Juno tell me what words she wants to learn. And she'll make up stuff, or she'll pull up stuff from stories we've been reading. So we've been reading Harry Potter, and she really wants to know the professor names. So Professor Quirrell, Professor Dumbledore. Her leading with that has been amazing. And then I'll go back and figure out the phonics rules and make up sentences. That's all pretty straightforward. I would say the twist I'm trying to add to this that has been lovely is when we look at some of these words. Let's go through and sort by when I made these. I'm making this video because this program is mildly annoying. So this is a hard thing to share with other people. Okay, so here are these things I've made. We started with like Gollum. I don't know. Can we read this? Okay, it's hard to zoom in. But Gollum, Poop, Juno, Tilda, Remy. We've got pictures from the family. Oh yeah, I can zoom in on these. Great. Tilda, Remy, he's a little chubby boy. Calvin, Jack, from a movie that we've been loving. Salami Mommy. Here's Jenna. So at first I was just pulling in family photos and doing the copy paste thing on the computer and hammering out a bunch of these. Here's something that Juno drew, Axel Magnolia. Some of these are like a little hard, but because she was motivated, it's fine. Like Telescope has this silent E, or the bossy E that makes the vowel say its name. Now this is fun because I went in and did I went into this OpenAI ChatGPT subscription that I have. And if you look at Dolly, you can see these chats where, let's see, there's some powerlifting questions. That's not really what I was looking for. Okay, so here you can see, generate an image for the caption, do you want to play in the hay today? So I've been using this AI image generator to make these funny pictures that she loves looking at. So she'll, do the card, and then once she reads it, she will look at, like, it seems like a lame payoff, but she just loves like seeing what the funny picture is, and then we'll goof and tell stories and go, what is even in this anyway? How did they make this ball of hay? And it's easy to do stuff like that. Here's an image for play for Saturday. Young fairies. I'll just make up some caption that works here. I wanted to do, is it chilly when you poop in space? Dolly will not do that. So I had to do, is it chilly when you squat in space? And then I'll pretend that this creature's pooping. This is the one for when I stab myself. This is something about spicy poops. Soft C with a Y afterward. Anyway, the way I'm doing it now is it's not a huge amount of work, but it's a little bit of work. And what I'd love to be able to do is share these. And I'll make another video with the way I think is the easiest to share them now. But you can see we've got a bunch of these things. And it kind of doesn't matter if they're good or not, because again, like, they're just little short sentence examples that are fun to read, have a cute picture, and that are not as stressful as like, we got to sit down and read a book. Let's see what else to show. And you can see as I add these, like, they go from sentences and they're really getting long now. I hit a point where I asked her what books she would be proud to read, and I didn't get a grade. The answers I got were like way too hard. So I went and got Frog and Toad, one of the kids' books that we love reading together. And I pulled sentences from that pretty much in order and snapshots of the book. And if there were, rules for things that I didn't know how to, hadn't shown yet, I would just rewrite the sentence. And I don't know what the copyright implications of this is, but what are you going to do? And so by the end of this little group, she's read one of the stories in Frog and Toad. And what I'm hoping to do then is bring up the book and say, look, you already read this. Let's just read it together. So yeah, no stress about what you add, but it's been really fun to have like things that we make and then these AI pictures that can do crazy combos of ideas that are really fun. And then the final thing I'll say is, I'll show how to set this up, but I tune Anki to spit out 5 new cards every day. And what the reason for that is, at first you get 5 new ones, you get them all super easy. The next day, you'll typically review those 5 plus 5 more new ones. And the exponential decay means that there's a bucket of reviews that you've got to cover. At this rate, with some noise for whether things are hard or easy or whatever, we'll cover anywhere from like 20 to, 30 max. I think it's been 30 max cards. And I think the difficulty amps up as the sentences start to get longer. But let's see, if we look at like the current deck for stats, you can see these are the ones that are due in the future. Here's the last, we've been doing this, I guess, 60 days now with a few misses. But here's just some stats on the number of cards we've covered. It typically is, 29 reviews per day. So like 30 different cards per day on average. And this will take us like 15 minutes. if people like this, I can talk about how we've made this fun, but like as the core of some fun father-daughter or mother-daughter time, this has been a Pretzel relieves booty itch. Here's another one. Pretzel can heal his own booty itch. This is very disturbing. I chose this one. Anyway, highly recommend this flashcard thing. Juno started this when she was around 5. That felt like a really appropriate age. I could see like 6 being fine. But it's been a real turbo boost and just a really fun thing that we can share together. Anyway, that's it for now.